the debut of my poem about Herman Brood. Herman Brood, I suppose everybody here knows Herman Brood.
Yes, of course, yes.
And although you may not know, that last week was Herman Brood's birthday. On Wednesday. Or Tuesday. Anyway, I had a very special day, the day that Herman Brood died. And in actuality, I'm going to give an introduction to the poem because it's an autobiographical poem. And I have to say that the introduction is going to be a lot longer than the poem. But the poem makes up for that in other ways. It's important, though, that I tell the story because you understand and can enjoy the poem a lot better if you have the background story. It was a gray day in Amsterdam, and I was in the recording studio with my friend Boss and a guitar player that I was recording an album with on my washboard, an old-timey blues guitar player named T-Bone Fisher, who used to be around town here. And we were sitting there, and Boss was interviewing T-Bone about his life for a biographical account on the album. And he was sitting there, and T-Bone was talking about his experiences at the Hilton Hotel, where he played quite a few gigs at different Hilton hotels. And he was saying how, oh, well, it was terrible, and he had to, pull teeth in order to get paid, and it was just a terrible thing. But while he was talking about the Hilton, that reminded Boss of the fact that Herman Brood had just come out with a new record label called Couch Music and asked us if we were familiar with it. And, yeah, well, I wasn't. But while he was saying that, he got a telephone call. He got a telephone call from Michelle, the person who I was currently dating at the time. And he was told that Herman Brood had jumped off of the Apollo Hilton Hotel. And so that was kind of put an end to the whole interview thing. And he said he was going to go out there. Michelle worked for the Ascenti magazine, and he was going to go out there and he was going to get, pictures for an article that he was going to write about the event. So I was thinking it really affected me pretty strongly, and I don't know, I hadn't been in Amsterdam a whole long time, and I didn't know Herman Brood really well, but yeah, it just really affected me a lot. And I thought, well, I should really go out there and check things out myself. But I didn't know for sure whether I should do that. But I got a call from Michelle, who then asked me to meet him there. So, well, that answered that question. So, on my way to the Hilton. And I had no idea where it was. I was not very familiar with Amsterdam, and I did not have a map. So I went to the bus driver and I asked him how to get there. And so he said, okay, you take this tram and then you transfer to that bus and then you walk down the Apollo. So I said, okay, sounds good. So I got on the bus, on the tram. Finally I get to the Apollo and I'm walking down this long way down this big boulevard. And it got really windy. And the wind was really blowing me towards the Apollo. So I made good time, consequently. Well, when I got there, hardly anybody was there. And, except there was a memorial with flowers where he fell. And I was waiting there for Michelle. Michelle finally shows up. And he says to me, well, I have to go and take these pictures, and I couldn't get any flowers, and we really need to put some flowers down there, so why don't you go see if you can find some flowers? So I go on the flower hunt. And turns out that there were 2 flower shops in the area, but they were both closed. So I couldn't get any flowers. So I came back and I reported, no flowers, sorry. By that time there were a lot of people who were gathering there. It was getting really full. And this American couple came up to Michelle and I and said, what is going on here, you know? Turns out they were deadheads. And of course Jerry Garcia had already passed by that time. So they understood completely when I told them what was going on with Herman Brood. And they were very sympathetic, because of course they all felt that way when Jerry died. So I said to them, well, you know, yeah, we just couldn't find any flowers anywhere, and that was really a shame, you know. And they said to me, well, you know, we have the solution. Just, you wait here, we're going to go into the hotel, we'll be right back. I said, okay. So we're sitting there, he's taking photos, I'm waiting. They come back out, and each of them has a bouquet of flowers. One of them, they were both lilies. And one of them was a bouquet of 12 orange lilies, which of course is the color for Holland. And the other one was a bouquet of 12 white lilies, which is, in America at least, the flower that is used at funerals. Now the interesting thing about these flowers were that the orange ones were all completely in full bloom. But the white ones, absolutely not one of the white ones had opened up. They were completely shut, which was remarkable, and I had never seen anything like that. But anyway, so there we had our flowers, and we put them on the memorial. And as we put them on the memorial, there was, the rain started. It started raining and there was a huge wind, just blew everything. And so we took the photos of the flowers on the memorial and went on our way back to the central station, Michelle and I. And when we got there, he went home. He was very depressed because he was really a big Herman Brood fan. And I was very touched by all of the events that had occurred. And I went to sit on the stairs that used to be at Central Station, if you remember, before they started all this north-south line stuff. That you sit there and you can look into the canal there, and there's a bridge over to the Central Station. And the sun was setting, and the whole situation was just beautiful. The setting sun, the bridge, reflections on the water. And I sat there and I wrote this poem, which just flowed out of me in 10 minutes and was complete. And as I finished the poem, I looked up at the bridge and I saw a boat gliding by in the water, going into the sunset. And the name of the boat was Holland's Glorie. And so subsequently I named this poem Ode to Brood, Holland's Glorie. That's the day, and it's now the poem. He sprang, leaving us in strife, flying to the other side of life, where no man is alone, where every dream is sown and springs forth into being without anyone seeing from whence it came nor where it will go again. Herman Brood is neat-doed, just existing in another mode, where consciousness is pure, where everything and nothing endure. Drawn irresistibly to that place where Herman Brood took to space that fateful day, no one can say why. A great wind blew me there to the very spot where he flew to the heights, giving up his fight for life. Herman Brood is neat-dode, just existing in another mode, where consciousness is pure, where everything and nothing endure. As we place the flowers in that fateful hour, an energy so strong, I knew he wasn't gone, just blowing the wind and crying the rain. No rainbow came. The wind just blew and blew as Herman Brood flew away.